Hello, welcome to Patterson Farm Market and Tours here in Mount Olive, North Carolina. My name is Beth Ann and we are so excited to have you here today. Whether you're joining us virtually from home or from your classroom, we have a lot of fun things to show you and we can't wait to get started. Come on, let's go. Here at Patterson Farms we have lots of living and non-living things. Living things can grow, breathe, eat, and reproduce. Non-living things cannot. But today, we are going to focus more on all the living things here at Patterson Farm. Are humans living things? Of course we are. We start from babies, then grow to toddlers, to children, to teenagers, to even adults. Human life cycles are gradual and they take a long time. All living things have life cycles, but they develop at different rates and speeds. However, there are some insects, such as a common life housefly, that lives out its entire life cycle from egg, larva, to pupa, to adult, in just a matter of a few short weeks. Along with humans and insects, some more living things around the farm are the barnyard animals. We have goats, sheep, pigs, horses, chickens, and even more. The soil is living, trees, the butterflies and bees that are flying around are living as well. And so are all the fruits and vegetables that we grow right here on our farm. Along with our barnyard animals, humans, and insects, all the plants that we grow here on the farm are also living. They breathe in carbon dioxide and let off oxygen. They need water to live, and they also get their nutrients from photosynthesis, which is how they get their energy from the sun. Every living thing has a distinct life cycle. Today, we're going to look at the life cycle of a tomato. We're going to show how tomatoes come from the field to the market and then to your table. Some people may not realize, but our market and our farm are not in the same location, but it's just down the road. Let's head that way. Patterson Farm has been growing tomatoes since 1919. That is over 100 years of growing tomatoes. Today we are one of the largest producers in North Carolina for tomatoes. We plant, grow, harvest, pack, and ship approximately 200 acres of green, vine-ripened, grape, and Roma tomatoes. Typically, our tomato season lasts from late June through October. You may not like tomatoes, but I bet some of your favorite foods contain tomatoes, like spaghetti, pizza, ketchup, salsas, salads, and soups. Tomatoes come in all different sizes, varieties, and colors. In February, farmers began planting tomato seeds in small trays like this one. Now in February, it's too cold outside to plant the seeds, so farmers grow them in greenhouses. Inside a greenhouse, the temperature remains the same, and it allows fruits and vegetables to grow all year round, no matter what the weather. Tomato seeds will germinate or start growing within 10 to 14 days, which is the first stage of the tomato life cycle. The next stage is a seedling. Then the young plants will be moved from trays and transplanted into the field. Now before the farm can move the seedling into the field, the farmer must start to get the fields ready for planting in March. After the soil is disked, a bedder is used to form raised beds. The raised beds are covered with plastic to help control weeds. Drip tape is placed under the plastic to water the plants. White plastic is used for tomatoes to be picked in the summer because it reflects light, keeping soil from getting too warm. Farmers transplant the young seedlings to the field from April to July. Workers must cut a hole in the plastic and place each plant by hand, just like strawberries. The tomato plants will grow in the field 6 to 7 weeks. After transplant, the workers will drive stakes into the ground beside each plant. They must be careful not to harm the seedlings. Stakes will support the vine as it grows. Home gardeners can use wire cages instead of stakes for support. Twine or string is tied around the stakes to help keep vines off the ground. This helps the plant take up less space and make it much easier when it's time to pick. A few weeks after being transplanted, leafy shoots called suckers will start growing from the stem. Workers pinch off the suckers. If they don't, the plant will use energy to grow the suckers and not the tomato. Now all North Carolina tomatoes and here at Patterson Farm Inc. are picked by hand. Since tomatoes ripen at different times, workers will harvest and walk through the same field multiple times over the next few weeks, picking the ripe red tomatoes. Workers place tomatoes in plastic buckets and then empty them into wooden bins. When tomatoes come in from the field, the first step is packing tomatoes is to lower the bin into the water so the tomatoes float out. This decreases bruising. Tomatoes move over a rolling conveyor that turns each one so it can be inspected for quality. Now the tomatoes are ready to be graded by size, quality, and color. The green tomatoes will continue straight down the line. Our graders will pull out any that do not meet quality or are colored. Our graders place tomatoes with color on the conveyor belt that will be boxed with other colored tomatoes. Did you know that we work with a local cattle farmer who comes and gets our tomatoes that don't meet grade to feed his herd? That way they are not going to waste, even though we cannot sell them. The tomatoes are separated by sizes and sent down the conveyor belt. Next step is that they are boxed into 25-pound boxes. This mechanism catches the lids on each box as it comes by. We stack our pallets 80 boxes high. We have multiple pallets along the line for different sizes of tomatoes. The stackers know which box to grab because each box is stamped with the correct size. When the pallet becomes 80 high, we tag it in our inventory and our forklift drivers take them to be stored in our coolers. Each box is 25 pounds, so the whole stack is 2,000 pounds. The cooler is where we store tomatoes until the customer sends a truck to pick them up. Sometimes customers want green tomatoes, and we'll send a truck that day. Most of the time, though, the tomatoes stay in the big cooler for a few days until they ripen to the desired shade the customer wants. You'll see the cooler has 2 rows, one on top of each other. Each row holds 10 pallets. Most trucks can fit 20 pallets of tomatoes on them, so each row of 2 is 1 truckload worth. We send our tomatoes all the way from Canada down to Puerto Rico. Patterson Farm Inc. prides itself on providing quality tomatoes and other produce to its customers. Patterson Farm sells slicing tomatoes, Roma tomatoes, cherry, and grape tomatoes. These are common varieties that you have most likely encountered in your home and in your local grocery stores. Even though all these tomatoes are different, when you cut into them, they all have very small, tiny seeds, a meaty wall, and skin to protect the inside of the tomato. Hey, I got a question. Is a tomato a fruit or a vegetable? Do you know? Actually, a tomato is a fruit because it comes from a seed and it comes off of a flowering plant. So the debate's over. A tomato is definitely a fruit. So remember, no matter how you like to eat your tomatoes, whether it's on a sandwich, on a pizza, in a salad, or soup, that your tomato started as a seed, went from a seedling, and then grew into a mature tomato plant. It was then picked as a ripened tomato, and that's how you consume them. Remember when you eat a tomato to always thank a farmer and all their hard work. Thank you so much for joining us today at Patterson Farms, and we hope to see you soon.